Hi everybody, I'm back at my favorite spot. Maybe you can hear today we have some company. Some birds are singing. There is also a pigeon, I think. Now you can hear maybe the pigeon. We have a pretty background music. Well, today I wanted to make a little video about the differences between Korea and Germany. Things that when I first came to Korea were shocking for me as a German because they are so different from Germany, and also some things that I still didn't get used to now after living here for quite a while. So the first thing is actually a little thing that really surprised me in a positive way. It is that water in the restaurant is free in Korea. So when you go to a restaurant in Korea and order something to eat, there is like 99% of the time a water station where you can get free water, or they give it to you directly. You would never experience that in Germany. And also not only Germany, but every country I traveled to so far, and they are quite a lot, I never saw that, like free water in the restaurant. In Germany you would pay like €2 at least just to get a glass of water, which is crazy to think about. And the same thing goes for toilets, by the way. The concept of paying to go to a toilet doesn't even exist in Korea, but it does in Germany. In Germany, when you want to go to a public toilet, you need to pay money. Isn't that crazy? Free water and free toilets are a great thing, which I appreciate, and I think they should be free in every country because it's a basic human need, right? The next thing that is really different in Korea and Germany is transportation. Public transportation. In Korea, you just have your one card and you can use it for bus, for the subway, wherever, and you just scan it and it's done. Easy. In Germany, you need to buy tickets for bus or train in every city you go differently. So every city has a different ticket system. So when you travel to big cities, they all would have a different system. They also would use different zones. Like if you go West Berlin, you need that ticket. If you go West and East Berlin, you need that ticket. And it's so confusing and frustrating, because most of the time I don't know what ticket should I buy. It's really confusing. Also, Korea's transportation is way cheaper than German transportation, which doesn't make German transportation better. I think Korean transportation is a lot better in a lot of ways. They are more clean most of the time. The subway stations are so much cleaner than in Germany. And when we talk about trains, Germany has a lot of troubles with trains being delayed or don't come at all. I never experienced that in Korea. Another big difference between the transportation, public transportation in Korea and Germany is the air conditioning. Korean public transportation, they all have air conditioning, right? The buses, the subway, everything. Germany does not have air conditioning in buses, like city buses, not long travel buses. They do have, or trams. Germany uses trams a lot, and the cities I lived in, they didn't have an air conditioning. So imagine summer, more than 30 degrees, the tram is full of people, like you are crowded like that, and there is no air conditioning. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Germans are not a big fan of air conditioning, to be honest. The last years the view a little bit changed. It's a little bit more common, but a lot of spaces in Germany don't have air conditioning, not only transportation. Well, it's a really German view, but air conditioning, first of all, is expensive, and second of all, the steady airflow, the steady cold air can make you really sick. So I actually experienced that last year. I got really sick for 2 months just because of the air conditioning. The problem with Korean air conditioning is that in summer outside it's like really hot, but the buses, the trams, the air conditioning is like really cold. When you sit next to air conditioning for quite some time, which I did unfortunately for some hours, you can get really sick. That's a bad point, but still I prefer air conditioning definitely. I just wish it wouldn't be so cold in some areas. Next thing, I don't know if it's a typical Korean only thing. I also saw it in other countries before, not in Germany though, is that on the traffic lights for the passengers, like if you want to cross a street, there is a timer. So you exactly know how many seconds left until the light turns red, which is so great. Because in Germany that doesn't exist. So you don't know when is the light going to turn red. So you don't know, should I run? Should I not? And sometimes you do really awkward like running, and then suddenly it gets red right before you step on the road, and then you stand there like, okay. The next thing is something I still didn't completely figure out in Korea. The recycling system. Korea and Germany are both countries who take recycling seriously, but they do it differently in some areas. So I am confused from time to time which trash is which. In Germany we do have plastic and paper trash, special trash like bathroom stuff or like babies' diapers, and then of course we have glass and other things. But in Korea I'm sometimes really confused what is normal trash, the trash where you buy the bags, because in Germany everything that is not paper or glass or food is plastic. But in Korea there is a difference between recycling plastic and non-recycling plastic, like the vinyl. And a lot of food packages, they look like they should be recycled, but they are actually not when you look at the back and it says other. That's just confusing for me, because in Germany it's just all plastic and it all will be recycled somehow. There are a lot of times when I'm confused, like also between food trash and normal trash. Sometimes I don't know. I heard eggshells should go in the normal trash. In Germany they are food trash, because food trash is everything that is nature, that you can throw in the nature and it will become earth. That's what we do with our food trash. They will just put it on the big field and then wait some years until it turns earth and then actually use it for agriculture. So there are just some tiny things that I just really need to figure out how to do it. But most of the times it's written at the backside, so it's easy to tell. Now I talked about some stuff in the outside. Let's go to the house area. Let's start off when you enter the house in Korea. You don't have a key. Oh my gosh, that was so shocking. Because in Germany, you grab 3 things when you leave the house: the key, the wallet, the phone. In Korea, you can just actually go with your phone. If you put the card behind your phone, you have everything you need, because you don't have a key. But in Germany, there is a key for every house. I don't even know if we have that system of a code. Definitely not in living houses, maybe in some workplaces we do. But actually it's nice not to have a key, because when you have a key you always worry about losing the key or forgetting the key. It actually happens quite often that you close the door and don't bring the key's inside the house and you are outside the house. Then what do? Then you need to call somebody to break the door open. So I do actually prefer Korea's system of just having a code. One more big difference between Korean houses and German houses is the bathroom. You probably heard of that. In Germany, there is a special shower cabin, right? You don't shower exactly right next to the toilet, so the floor of the bathroom doesn't get wet. But in Korea, traditionally, it's really common to have a bathroom, and then there is a shower and a toilet and a sink and everything together. So when you shower, actually the whole bathroom gets wet. That was so strange for me because I just never saw that in Germany. And honestly, it was a little bit uncomfortable as well because I didn't remember that the bathroom is wet after shower. So every time I would step in with my socks and they would be wet. So it took some time to get used to it. It definitely has its advantages. For cleaning, it's easy to clean the floor and the walls. You can just use the shower head to clean everything. I just needed some time to get used to it. And one more last difference in the house area, that's really one thing I'm missing in Korea, and that's the oven. The oven is like the most basic thing to have in a German kitchen. No oven, no life, literally. You use oven to make your bread, your cookies, lasagna, so many dishes you just make with the oven. But I noticed that a lot of Korean flats don't have an oven, which I understand because you don't really need an oven to make Korean dishes. I don't think you need an oven at all, actually. It makes sense you don't have it. But I really miss it because there are so many dishes I cannot make. I was just really surprised that it's not like a need item for Koreans. And one thing that is really connected to not having an oven is making pizza in Korea. You make pizza in the microwave. The thing is, if you make pizza in the microwave, it's really soggy, it's really soft. It's not crispy at all, but if you make it in the oven, it's really crispy. While I was talking about the oven, I also mentioned bread. Bread is Germans' #1 favorite food. We do eat it every day. So I just need to talk about Korean bread shortly, because that's also one thing I'm really missing living here. I miss good, hearty, savory bread. Like, Korea does have a lot of bread shops, but what I noticed in Korea, most of the bread is sweet. Not most of the bread, actually every bread. I tasted one time bread that was like German bread, but most of it is sweet. So German bread is not sweet. German bread is like really savory. That's just a big difference. There are some breads that are made like German style with wheat, but they still don't really taste like German bread. Well, maybe if I have my own oven, I can make my own bread, then the problem is solved. Then I solve 2 problems with 1. Then I actually have nothing to complain about. So there are only 2 more things I want to talk about. The first thing is the editing of pictures. Different area now, because I got my ID pictures taken in Korea some time ago. I wanted to talk about it because Korean ID pictures are so much more pretty than in Germany. They edit a lot. Not only make your skin pretty, they sometimes even change the shape of your face. So I was so surprised because in Germany we don't do if we take ID pictures or passport pictures, they don't edit at all. Like, not even the skin. Like, if you have a really big pimple and you need to take your ID picture at the date, then you are stuck with that pimple ID picture for the next 8 years. Germany is brutally honest. I think you are also not allowed to wear heavy makeup when you do take a passport picture. It's really funny if I compare my Korean ID pictures with my German ID pictures. They are like a different person. And the last thing I want to talk about, it's a different area again, but it was also really surprising for me. When I came to Korea the first time, years ago, and I went swimming, I think that was the first time in my whole life that I was actually wearing a life jacket. When you go swimming in Korea, not only in the ocean, but also like in big public swimming pools, you do wear a life jacket. And that was so surprising for me, because that is not a concept in Germany at all. That doesn't even exist. I never saw anybody wear a life jacket in Germany, except small children. But it's not on the life jacket. Small children don't wear life jackets. They wear like a swimming help on the arms only, or on the belly, just that helps them keep over water. The explanation for that is that a lot of Koreans cannot swim, which is surprising, because Korea is a country surrounded by water. I'm not talking about swimming pretty, swimming fast. I'm talking about being able to hold yourself over water and swim to the shore if you need to. So actually in Germany we have a swimming subject. It's like a school subject in school. So it's 1 year where you have swimming lessons. You go to the swimming hall once a week, and then for 2 hours you just get swim training. But most of Germans can swim even before they get the school training, because a lot of Germans learn it before they enter elementary school or in elementary school. But Korea doesn't have that, right? Korea doesn't have a swimming subject. Like, they don't teach swimming in schools. Yeah, so that was just something surprising. I talked a lot. Oh my gosh, I think that's a really long video. There are just a lot of differences I wanted to talk about, maybe that you don't know about. And yeah, by the way, I also want to say a big thank you for everybody who is always watching my video, for the beautiful comments and other messages I received. I appreciate every single one of them. I'm so thankful for every message. So big thanks. Now it's lunchtime. I talked a lot. I got hungry, so I will get something to eat, and see you in the next video.